It's time to do some JavaScript work. Unfortunately, I deleted my earlier session when I was doing the stream for the M55 tape writer that I got. All the videos look the same, and I thought I was deleting an old take, but actually it was the morning's work stream. Let's see if this is actually working. Waiting for the stream to kick in. In the meantime, I might as well pull up a few other things. Get my Trello board up. Stream is taking a while to start. I wonder what's going on. That's my display plus chat. It says I'm live. I don't see anything. Why is that? I guess it took a while to launch. Alright, so I'm going to resume my JavaScript work. The stream from this morning's JavaScript work lost. I deleted it by accident. And there's no recovery for it. All the streams look the same. And I thought I was deleting a different one. And made a test stream for my M55B tape writer, which I'm going to pull out and admire again. Just because I can. Behold! So I also labeled it, of course. So I made a property of David Say on that. I mean, which is like, totally sweet. So I'm going to label everything now. I have a regular label maker too with the regular flexible tape. But there's something kind of nice and old school about that style of tape writer. But anyway, let us resume where we had left off. Let us review the immersion test planner sheet I had made. I had done work. I did about an hour of work from here to here. This was JS stuff. And then essentially all of this was printer, or at the printer, then at the vet. Got home around 3, I think. And I just sort of puttered with emails and the M55 typewriter. Right now it's 4:30. And so this is where we're going to start some work. And there's piano karaoke at 7:30, which I'd like to go to, which means I need to get ready for that around. Well, I need to eat something. So I think 6:30 is probably the cutoff. So I have 1 hour and a half. Is that right? 4:30, 5:30 to 6:30. No, I've got 2 hours. I can actually get quite a lot done in 2 hours. I'll set this to 2 hours. Actually not that hungry. And why is it so dark in here? Let me just turn on a few lights. One thing I don't like about the this time of year is how short the days are. I find it really depressing. And so, thankfully, this live streaming stuff actually does seem to help me keep my spirits up. It says I work at home by myself. I'm not talking with other developers in the room. Just helps keeps things moving. And I have the virtual co-working chat room too with a bunch of like-minded, I suspect, people. Let's see. Yeah, I'm in the chat room now. I need to post my live stream notice. Now beginning JavaScript co-working session at Zeta.com live. I should update that video. Anyway, so that's going. Let's go to the live stream on air chat room. So now I'm in that room. All right, where did I left off? I don't remember. Click OK. This is the wrong thing. Flight number 30. Well, this stuff is someone's airline stuff. Let's see. I'll move this to a different place. Oops. So let's see, what do we got? In my ink play, we are in the mode. Well, I wrote it down here. Let me drop this down. Shield against multiple record start. See if can replay in particle game session without a particle game. Use recorder mode to make Unisys record and playback function state aware. All right. So where we last left off, looks like I closed everything. Let's run this process again. And let's use source tree to see what changes I made last. We got the register state message stuff working. So now we just had to make the mode awareness. Let's do that first, because that's I think I know what to do with that. So right now it's all in Unisys. How are they loading this? Step net message network step Unisys. I guess that's technically a network thing. How am I going to do this? We need to implement this mode switch. I really do want to put this in its own module, I think. How many times, where am I using this? Active playback, SB mode idle. I think I'm going to replace all that. Where are all the places? That's in there, M active playback. Okay, we are checking. Let's change this. We're going to call this M recorder mode. Okay, and then we're also going to eliminate these enumerations, because I did actually make a global type module. And so that very first mode, I need to actually get it out of here. Var mode is equal to recorder mode is equal to def enum recorder modes. And so then we want to initialize that with recorder, let's call it rec mode dot idle. So this should be valid, even though I'm declaring it late. In JavaScript, all variables are hoisted to the beginning of the function declaration. So these are technically defined before, or are they? They may not be. Just to be safe, I'll put these up here. We'll put them down here. I forgot to start the clock. We're starting this at, let's call it 16:45. Resume recorder state. Coding. So what I'm trying to do here is I want to make this state awareness. All right, so during the record start functions, we wanted, or actually, where was that? Record start. If config, if mRecorder mode not equal rec mode idle. Playback system already in use, mRecorder mode. So we just need to check all of these. And so here we need to make that so it's rec mode. What are my options? Recording. And furthermore, sys pb mode record, we want to make sure it's this. And then we want to switch this to idle. And then we want to change this when playback starts. We want to make sure that mRecorder is not recording or ready. We want to make sure if it's idle. Get null session object. If mRecorder mode does not equal rec mode idle, return. It should say something like it's already an active playback system. Cannot start playback when mode is already cannot start recording when mode is not idle. When recorder is not. So rec mode, let's just make sure that we're using all these right. Rec mode idle. So when we're playing, we want this to be rec mode playback, playing. I think that's all of them. Alright, let's see if it still runs. Guess we need to get some apps up for that. Say that. Let's run a particle game. Let's get a console up. Let's run another browser window. Let's go to a different, let's go to a client, display client. So we'll grab the reflected stuff. Let's select day 7. Let's do record start. Let's see if I can try another record start. It should give me an error this time. Cannot start recording when not idle rec. It still executed that though. No, it should have returned. Oh, it's. I think that's because the. Yeah. Record start. That was we just return nothing. I'm returning this because the functions will print. The console always prints the output of the function. And you execute it from the console, and it always says undefined, which bothers me a little bit. Oh, this time it didn't. Oh, yeah, it did, undefined. So this time it should not be able to record stop. There's a lot of little things that need to be fixed, I think, with this, but we're just making sure that the basics work. So that is kind of working, I think. What's the next thing to do? Modes and definition. Oh, we actually need to update. When we receive a record mode state change, we need to define a handler for it, which is in what? Start? Oh, that's wrong. This is the wrong Unisys. Initialize. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Register message. We get recorded status. Recorder mode. Maybe we want to do it this way. Here I'm setting it directly. We actually don't want to set it directly because it's actually handled by the network update. Let me make a, what was it called? Quarter modes. Console log, or console info. Recorder state changed. I want that. Console info, PP. Recorder state updated. What happened here? Error PP is not defined. Oh, it's capital PP. So now what I'm thinking is going to happen is when I execute the record start, the round trip is what will set it. Yep. If I try it again, it will bomb out. Good. I'll make it mode in here. About how that's working. this value gets set by Unisys. Well, Unisys. Which is sent by the server as it enters record state, as it starts recording. Now, the question is, when do we, let me just make sure that step Unisys actually does go back to idle. Set record status, set modes idle. Set status mode recording. Should set status mode playing. Alright, so there's some better awareness now. What's going on here? WebSocket not defined. Well, that's, yeah, we would change that. So we got this recorder state awareness working. That's worth committing, I think. Let's go to source tree and commit this before I blow something up. So what's the changes in here? We made how to describe this. Dev ds recorder. What was in here? Implement recorder mode, state tracking across all registered apps. Well, actually, across any state synchronization. Between the server and consumers. To prevent client instances of the recorder module behave. Oh yeah, I'm feeling so tired. I'm not sure how much juice I have left in me. I think you want to do, I might extend the working through the weekend. I don't really have any plans. And I'm kind of enjoying this work now. Now that I have my Quiver notebook set up correctly. Let's push this up. And let's see, what time is it now? It's almost 5. Let's call it 1700. And so it's 15 minutes of work. Booyah. Ugh. I'm so tired. Should make some coffee. I am like checked out kind of on the time, so I'm gonna make some coffee. It occurred to me that I should have a away from keyboard sign on the actual monitor instead of popping up the overlay. But I think another thing I could do is just go to the, is it this view? I don't think I have overlay on. This will work. I can just put this camera over here. As I go and get coffee. What if I can just stick the camera into this cubby hole? That might be kind of funny. Does it work? Kind of works. Anyway, I'm gonna make some coffee. Well, what kind of coffee should we make? AeroPress has these old beans to use up. How many do I need? 1, 2. I think 2. I've almost forgotten how to use the AeroPress. It's been a while. I've been drinking that Korean coffee. Yeah, here we go. So this goes here, this goes here, this goes away. I need to get creamer, which is here. I'm drinking this stuff. Bailey's non-alcoholic coffee creamer. Which doesn't make me a real coffee drinker, I think. But I don't taste the bright notes of berries and stuff like that in my medium roasts. I like a dark roast with lots of cream and sugar in it. Well, that's the way we like it here in New England. So this grounds. Guess it would help if I actually had a cup to put this in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I almost killed myself in this broom. Certainly it's faster than the Chemex. About as fast as a Keurig. Better results. Let's see, where does this go? This goes here. This goes here. What does this taste like by itself? Strong and nasty. Guess whether we got this. Did I buy sugar-free creamer? It didn't taste as good as I hoped it would. Oh well. Let's get this back here. All right. Need to wake me up a little bit. What time is it now? It's 15:03. That was like 3 minutes? 5 minutes? Oh, we'll just continue. 1700. What are we coding? The next state. Next bit of work. We've got record start. We've got the synchronization. We want to do the playback now. How am I going to do that? Playback. Well, in my step Unisys test code. That's wrong Unisys again. Unisys is there's a server component and there's a client browser component. Playback start accepts the config. It sends this config. What is the commands it's sending? Command playback starts. It needs really, it has to include the session info with it too. Command session info. That's all we need, or we could probably just break these out. So what's in our session object? Who's calling this function? And our playback start, we don't have anything yet. But we do have this session info. I guess let's do this. Actually, I had to write a whole bunch of functions. This is the first time I get to use my call sequence. Code, I think. No, actually, maybe not. What we want to do is we want to first unisys syscall what's the name of this command? We need a new command called list. What's the recorder change? What is the command? Recorder stay. Oh, it's recorder. How am I going to do this? What I need to do is I want to retrieve the list of the available sessions of today's sessions. I want to pick the last one. And then request that playback. And that will be enough for a proof of concept. I can work with the UI guys and figure out what else needs to happen. So for that, what do we need to do? Now there's no code for that. Where would it be? We need to implement a new command. That would be in step unisys, I think. And I think that would be quarter. Where would it be? Message server client is ready. Message server recorder command. Record start. This is probably where we want, not using netdefs. We want to change that. This is when I was having those issues with not knowing where to store stuff. These are nums, so these should actually go somewhere else now. So these go back into our definitions. These are enumerations. Enum recorder modes, def enum. Or these are commands, let's say. Recorder, CMDs. And CMD is equal to def enum recorder var CMD is equal to CMD record start. A step recorder implements, or rather step unisys receives the, what was it, recorder state? The recorder command message and parses the command property. Is it command prop? Property to determine what to do. These are the available commands. Use declare like so instead of this, we need to do, what did I call this before? A rec. Actually, I don't think I have modes implemented here. We will make something called var rec CMD is equal to, what do they call it? Def enum record commands. Rec command record start. Nice and short. And then rec command record stop. And rec command playback start. And rec command playback stop. should still run. Let's confirm. Running the director branch. These WebSockets are unhappy. Let's relaunch this. Let's record start. If this works, we know everything is working. Nope. Cannot read property record start of undefined. You assist line 4 and 9. Oh, it's probably because this is using the same 409. Where is that? And F server yeah. So we actually have to use the defined type, which would be var rec mode var rec command is equal to def enum or recorder TMDs. So those ndef functions get replaced. Def I'm going to find all of these. That gets replaced with this. That gets replaced with this. That gets replaced with that. That's all of them. That should fix it. Define once. Use multiple places. Oh, it's still starting to find. Now it's at line 410. Let's see. Rec command, record start. Why is that not working? Did I call it rec command? Rec command is equal to def enum recorder commands. Def enum recorder commands. I could be doing something stupid here. Def enum should be declared. I'm gonna guess maybe it didn't refresh properly. Nope, ND is not defined. Definition's 80? What? Oh. Maybe this is crashing. Are there any errors? There's some warnings. Record start. Oops. No, we crashed over here too. Cannot read property record start of undefined. Case rec command record start. Alright, let's just restart the whole thing. I'm probably doing something silly like not referencing that correctly. Oops. Server's running. Server's running. Computer's melting. Ah, what is that? Oh, it's Max MSP. Record start. Okay, it's working now. I think I was just confused. Oh, there's a new version of Max MSP available. Alright, so recording is starting. Unicall select day 7. So that's going on. I forgot what I was doing again. So I have this. I'm trying to. Oh, I'm working in playback, right? And I wanted to retrieve a list of today's sessions. So I was redoing this, so now I can add another command called get session. Let's call it get today sessions. So a new get sessions command, and we want to add this to step unisys. Yeah, right here. Record command stop. Eventually, we'll move this all to its own module. But right now, it's just convenient to put this here. What is it? Get sessions. Because all the Unisys controls are here. I'm out of coffee. I am sad. So, so the idea behind a get session is we want to look at the session object. Well, okay, we need to define actually what's in this. Well, let's see. What do you need when you're doing a session? Here's the step unisys. This is all. Oh, this is like docs. Notation. To move to wiki. Netdefs we don't need anymore. These things play we might need. This is a current dummy session object. So we're looking at this. Guess we want to get session run info. Session selector. Let's call it that. Okay. So in Unisys, what I want to do is I'm going to add a new call called our list sessions, I guess. Let's see. List or get session. Get sessions. Get session list. Get session list. And get session list will accept a session selector object. And we'll have, what's this complaint? Oh, it's a junk up there. Let's move this down into here. Because that's just going to use that as a reference. So what happens when I do a get session list? I need to make a new packet, I think. Let's see. And what's this play packet going to be? Excuse me. Command packet is equal to new session message. Message server. Recorder command. And the command is going to be rec command get sessions. And the selector, oops, will be session selector. What's missing here? Oh. That's the command packet, and then we just send it, right? Received, get session list, acknowledge, and let's just output some stuff, console log, the data, and that will be the return asynchronous call from the network. This is actually cool code. I'm surprised it works. It makes me. It's the sort of code that is just the very edge of my ability to write. um, it simplifies a lot of things. So we're getting data back. We actually need to now have this handled on the Unisys, step Unisys side of things. And so we're getting data sessions. Session selector object. And did I call it session selector? Let's move this over this side. So session selector. Let me move this down here too. So I can have a, I don't think I really need to see this too much. So in, it's not even showing me the right. Session selector, Unisys is sending in our get session list. It's saying this command packed into something called selector. And so on this side of things, we're expecting something that looks like we've already parsing command selector. Now let's do this. Inspect selector. Console log data selector. Got session selector. What's going on? Why am I getting a lint error here? Data is not defined? Oh. That's weird. Switch packet. I should just define it up here. So I don't have to keep doing these packet data calls. Oops. What happened there? So message. Let's replace this with data. First I'll copy this. Then I'll select all of these references. And then, oops, Command G, paste, 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 Command G. This is in a different place now. Like some room here. Alright, so where was I? I wanted to just, I was in recorder command. Switched. Should be able to do this now. Packet returned transaction, record stop, playback start, get sessions. This should work now. That lint error is gone, right? Yep. And we need to now stuff something into that selector, which is here. Get session list now is going to be called by our by where. We want to do a playback start. Let's do another debug function called window playback last. Play last session. And we'll do a sys get session list. How come I'm seeing two get sessions? Oh, okay, I guess one is the value. Is that right? Yeah, okay, that's okay. Sys get session list. Sys get session list. Oh, wait. Actually, I can't do it this way. Because this is a synchronous call. What we need to do is get session list. It does initiate a callback. I really like doing this all the time, but CB data. Sys. Wait, that's not going to work either. Get session list. Oh, it does require a session selector. So we need that here. Actually, no, with our play last session, we're going to grab our session selector. Var selector is equal to x settings. Oops. X settings dot get current session run info. Gonna do this function data selector activity ID, day ID, we want to skip all of that stuff. We had to add some more syntax to it. Session run info. Actually, we'll make a new function. X settings get this is where I wish I had classes again. You know what? We'll make this manually. And what do we need for the selector? We need things like the unit ID, which is going to be states of matter. We need you don't need the day ID or any of that stuff. We could filter on that. Day ID, we'll just make it null. Activity ID, we'll make that null as well. I'm trying to remember, is it bad juju to pass null in JSON? I just want to have it there just so I remember what this status is like. Date. guess what this, how are we going to specify dates? I don't want to really write a date parser. Let's make something called scope. Scope. Date scope. Date scope. Today. Actually, we'd probably need to put that in our common definitions. Let's move this back up here. And more enumerations. Let's see, this will be def enum recorder session what do we need to define in here? I think a few, actually this is more of a multiple thing. These are choices. And recorder session props. Date scope. How does this work? Date scope. Today. All. Oops. And so then how do we use this? It'll be something like sys props is equal to rec sys props equal to def enum recorder session props var. These properties? These are property values. So these are selectors. Session selectors. Selector is that var silo date scope is equal to rec selector date scope today. Selector isn't quite the right name. Rec select. Try to choose names that read like English. So I'm kind of paying attention to the grammar of the definitions I'm using. So we have this, and so we want date scope to be, and I need to add this, top of Unisys. This is starting to get big enough to demand its own module. Rec select var rec select goes into definum. Where I lost it again. It's way down here, right? Get session list. What was I doing that? That was in the debug, I think. Playback start. Where's my session thing? Get session list. I should probably don't need this anymore. Selector, session selector. And my debug call. Play last session. Our date scope is now rec. Rec select. Date scope today. That's probably enough. And what I'm expecting to get back asynchronous call. I should fix this. Sys else throw Unisys get session list requires a callback. So let's see, we're back in. How come I keep losing where I'm working? Oh, it's here. Play last session. Land the thing. Very bottom of the module. Establish or create selector object tells server what recording rec files to look for. Make a synchronous call. Let's see. Data will recur, will be passed to callback function. Console log play last session. Callback. Got data. I don't think any of this will work yet, but step Unisys, where did that go? It's over here again. Step Unisys. This is calling get sessions. Got sessions selector, and we need to return the packet. Data. What will we return? Data list. Data sessions equals. I'll just return some dummy sessions. Dope. What? Hey. Just confirm that the network comm is working there. Unicall. Making sure the audio is still working. I think it's still working. Test. Yep, we're still working. So now, if I do a Unicall, switch the game mode. Let me record start. Recording starting. I didn't need to do that. Record stop. Or actually, I wonder if let me just record start there. I should be able to record stop here. Because now they're all synchronized. Yeah. Yeah. What was the name of the command again? It was in Unisys. Play last session. I just want to see if all the options are coming out right. Play last session. Can't read date scope of undefined. Really? Rec select date scope. Today. Rec this. Maybe I didn't save this. And let me see if rec select is defined correctly. Rec select is def enum recorder session selectors. That looks right. Def enum recorder session selectors. Let's see if that works again. This is reloaded. Okay, that time it worked. Okay. So here, Unisys is printing command get selector object callback, and why are we seeing this sessions object here? You're getting the data back. Here we're seeing it got the selector. We didn't clear the selector object, so we should see what got sent. Looks like null does get sent. In the sessions array. I wonder if this is showing data in it because the object is just updating. Because this is a reference to the same object and it's showing me the current object. What is line 4049 anyway? Unisys, line 449. Console log. Is it just happening twice? Yeah, it's just me calling back twice. So if we do this thing again, play last session, it received the object, get session. What is this? Displayed data. That's an old debug routine. There's this bug with the sprites showing up there. So the session selector is being received. Where am I now? So the next thing to do is to actually generate that list of session files. How do you do that? Generate a list. List of session files. And now we're into the file system stuff. Let me commit this work first. Okay. How would I describe this work? Looks up. We add some new enums. dev ds recorder, add enums for recorder commands to definitions s. We also implement beginning or implement call chains. These are net call chains for playback last session debug routine. Did it work? Okay. So the next thing, now that I've got that work saved, is what? Generate a list of session files. Ah, that sounds like something that goes into our parser, which I've already forgotten how it works. We had done all this complicated stuff with. Oh, this is file system. So this little function here took a lot of effort to make it look that small. So we need to go to the file system and figure this out. Actually, I need to think out loud a bit. Friday the 13th, log. Feel compelled to knock on a piece of wood. It's a nice sound. Okay, recorder. Let's add some more notes. How to implement a queue. How do I make a list of files that match a given set of search criteria? The criteria we have so far for simple testing is unit, e.g. States of matter, date scope, e.g. today, so we use the unit ID, use the unit ID to generate the source directory. Use date scope today to generate current YYYYMMDD subdirectory. There's the root directory. And then get the list of files in the subdirectory. Blast them back. That should be, it's a list of files with the .rec extension. All right. I don't really feel like doing this right now. But let us review our recorder module, which is where step recorder. What do we have available so far? Is the right module? No, we want file system. Step file system. This has a bunch of get session directory, subpath. Session directory is the base path, which is the session directory. Subpath we don't know. Session log subpath. We actually want to make another function, get session log path. Get session directory. So that's the right one. The subpath will be based on the unit ID and I'm not scrubbing any of these. Let's see. Let's make a new function. Let me make a bunch of functions. Function API. Directory exists path. And we need a function. We need something that returns a string for today. Get nanotime now, get time strings now. I guess we could use this. Time now strings. I'm going to attempt to add another function here called function get today. Actually, the same as this. We're just going to get time now and generate it. Our function get today path. Get today's session. Let's see, get session path for today. And this will accept an activity ID, or in, is that right? No, it's the, what do I call it? Mine's brain farting. It's the unit ID. Unit ID. Keep switching back and forth between this and this. I think the convention is like when I'm using more system level calls or they're module wide, I use this, but parameters I use this. But I don't think I'm consistent about it. Get session path for today. Get today's. I like the idea of get today's. Session path. And I don't know if we really need this directory exists thing as a API level call. Get nanotime, highest numbered rec file is recorder file path. This checks zero pad. directory exists. Return true if the past directory path name and it must be a directory is true exists. Return true if the past path is a directory. An existing directory. Past path, an existing file. Function file exists. Path. So I hear a noise over here. So where am I doing? Now I had to look up code. How do I code for as directory exists? Let's see. Read dir sync. Debug. Yeah, okay, it's time to go to the Googles. Node determine directory path exists. We want a synchronous check. Oh, that's right. Those are the they've changed a bunch of stuff. What is this async? We don't want the async one. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. This might be part of the extended FSE, FS extended node. Is that the one I'm using? Deprecated. Is this the one I'm using? Damn it, which one am I using? There's so many of these little packages. I am using FS Extra. I think that's the one that I'm looking at now. Oops. Alright, FX Extra. Both async by default. Methods. I don't want to ensure file makes the file if it doesn't exist. Sure some like sure link sync. Sure file. Ensures that the file. Oh. FS extra directory exists. We don't want to ensure. FX exists no longer exists. This is, well, it no longer is. Fs exec sync is not. What's Fs access? It's like an old answer. Fs. Why is this so big? I guess that isn't it. Oh wait, that's deprecated. Exec sync is not. Returns true if the file exists. How's it? Not recommended. The callback parameters to exist sync. This is not the greatest documentation. $2012. It's breaking. Path existing is called fs exec sync. This is one of those things in which things may have changed. What? It's been replaced by fs access. Can I still use exist sync or not? It's true, except. Okay, I think we should be looking at fs access. It's the sort of thing I dislike about programming, looking up stuff that makes sense. I already have a file exists function. Now, does this actually return the directory? Exit sync path. What does it return? Does it return a sync object? Fs access sync. Why is this gigantic? What does this return? Why is this so huge? It's the mobile version. Why can't I delete that? What is going on this page? Oh, it's probably thinking that. Oh, maybe not. Which is the current? I think I'm using 6.9. File system, access sync. That doesn't return anything. Not recommended. What does Paul callback get? Let's see. Test users permissions for file directory specified path. The mode argument is an optional integer that specifies the accessibility checks. FS constants. FOK, okay. This is like for read access. So, if error. Not recommended. Access my file. Access R. Use a file. Because he has the file directly. Had on error. Determine if path is file or directory. Node. Maybe if a stat is what we want to use. Check if a directory exists. In terms of is directory or is file. Okay. How does this? Do we want stat sync? Path. Okay. Oops. What if it is a directory? Function API directory exists. Path. We want to do. Oops, I'm going to lose my stat sync path. FSE stat sync path returns a stat equals path. What does a return if this doesn't exist? Error code would be one of the common system errors. This doesn't say what it's going to be. What happens if there's an error? Let's see what this does. Console log stat. Result, this is API directory exists. Getting tired. In our step recorder code, or the step unisys code, let's see. what's this called? File system. Let's give it a bad path. File system needs to be updated. Exports. Directory exists. Equals API. Directory exists. And then I think what I want to do is get into my playback start or play last session. It crashed. No such file and directory. What is this, an uncaught error? No such file and directory. So I think what I want to do is in this, I guess we'll try trapping it. Directory exists. Try catch e return false. See if that fixes that error. See if the live roulette kicks in by itself. It's taking its sweet time. Come on, reload. You can do it. Reload. No. I guess that doesn't. It's a different WebSocket instance. Like melting my computer. Waiting for extension Ghostery. Come on. Ghostery's screwing with me. Alright, so actually I guess it did something. No more errors. It's promising. Returns true if the past file is a directory. So if it does exist, we get the stat object. Return stat dot stat is directory. I guess that does it. If stat is directory, console error. What's my error prompt? I keep forgetting these. EP step fs directory exists. Past path is a file, not a directory. return false. Return stat is directory. I think that will work. I'm getting very, very sleepy. 17 minutes to go. I'm going to go to 6:30. And let's re-execute our playback last session. Nothing's blowing up. That's good. So now we can get out of here and go back to step Unisys, I think. Now we need to generate. So some things we have to do are the directory itself. So how do we generate that? We want to do a get time strings. I think that's out of in file system. Oops, in file system. Now get time now strings. Step Unisys. File system. Time strings will go that. Path. Does it concat? Oh, does path not exist here? I thought I loaded path into this. Oh, that's lowercase. Path concat. Is it concat? Use this other browser over the other side. Path concat. That's combine. Oh wait, no it's not. Node. That's path join. Ugh. Path join. Path join. File system. I have something for this. Get the session directory. Thought I did. Get session directory. Unit ID. Get session directory. Path is equal to TS var subdir is equal to data selector activity ID. Path join data selector activity ID TS. Is that right? No, we're getting the session data. Yep, and then TS. Y. Yeah. data selector for cell is equal to data selector. Subdirectory is equal to tsyyy plus dash plus mm plus dd. What's going on? Okay. And then our path is going to be I can't do that. This is why I wanted to do. How many places does this exist? Tedious. Path. We want to find all instances of path dot. And we want to replace this with path dot. Right. Where was I then? I was in I said there's some old files. This is data selector plus mm plus dd. So that's the subdirectory of our path is equal to file system get session directory path equals path join path s activity id subdir what happened here tsyy some complaining is going on. Mm is not defined. Oh, it's because it's ts.mm and ts plus dd. Console error. Unisys or step unisys. Get sessions. What should we say? Path is not a directory. Directory. Crash. File system get time now strings is not a function. File system. Oh. That's because it's not exported. Maybe we should just put the function in here. Get time now strings get. Was where step unisys. Get, let's call it get today's. Export get time now strings equal API get time now strings. Get time now strings. Promoted. Get time now. Let's move it all into here. Let's say all this code. We want to do something like our path is equal to file system. Starting to click on the wrong things now. Get today's session path. Pass the selector in. All this stuff will move out to here. Oh. Selector. What's wrong with this? Now what? Oops. A file system. I guess we want to get synchronous. What's wrong with this now? Data is not defined. As S is equal to selector. File system. That doesn't work. Get time now strings. Equals get session directory. Path join. Path. Data is a session object, right? This step is calling session path data selector. So that's selector coming in. Selector. So I want data sessions. We're getting session coming in. We want to return selector. Well, actually, I guess we want to return the return this. Ugh, I'll start getting really woozy now. Let me close this off. We did this. We're currently working here. Unisys. Play last session. I think that's what everyone's calling it. Play last session. Last session. Window play last session is what I'm currently working on. I got a list of sessions, session files back to requester. So we can then pass something on. Let me update my logic here. We want to get a list of mashing files. Var found is equal to all this stuff. Return found. Return list of objects of selected or of path objects values for use in a drop-down or in a browser selector. All right, so also file system. What do they call it again? Get today's session path. All right, it's been 2 hours. Or has it? I guess it has been 2 hours. It's resume or continue, implement list of sessions support. It is about 7 o'clock and 3.5 hours, 3.25 hours today. So if I get 4 hours and 3 or 4 hours a day, that's actually not too bad. I just keep wanting to do more than that. Yep. All right. I am done with this for now. Kind of want to keep working on this, but I need to get ready for this. I don't really. Every time Piano Karaoke is on, it's once a month, second Friday at 7:30 p.m. I never really want to go to it, but when I force myself to go, I think I've always enjoyed it. Last time I went, though, I just realized that I was completely unprepared with any songs and felt I was disrespecting the environment by being there. So I didn't go for a few months. But I think actually maybe that's all in my head, so I want to go and check that out. And if it feels the same way, I'll just leave. No harm, no foul. Yep, that's today's second JavaScript session. What I'm going to do now is, I think I need to take a nap because I'm kind of wiped from doing all this work. Tedious looking up of stuff, and I was already tired to begin with. But we got someplace. Let me just add what we were doing. Implemented quarter state message passing. Also started session retrieval. Session list retrieval. Precursor to playback. And then we'll actually get to test the file playback. Alright, I am done with this for now. You may stream on the weekend. Usually I reserve the right to not do any streaming on the weekends, but I kind of feel like doing it this weekend. We'll see how that goes. May try to improve the video quality too of the stream. I'm streaming 720p on the cameras, but 1080p on the actual stream. Just so my Macintosh can keep up a little bit better. Actually, I guess maybe it's all right. I can always just run in the smaller mode like this, and it'll be fine. Or the side-by-side mode, or oops, that doesn't work. I thought I had a mode that was that plus desktop. Webcam plus desktop. Webcam. PC full, PC plus Mac, Mac full. What's Mac full? Oh, that's the full screen. Webcam plus chat. I don't have a webcam plus desktop. I guess I don't. Oh, that's this one. Webcam plus display. Anyway. I'm going to call it a night for coding, and I don't know, maybe it'll be an all-nighter. Do need to get this stuff working though soon, because next week I need to implement some complicated stuff. So thanks for watching. Hope you're getting some work done, and I will see you soon.